and I am excited to be before you once again. I missed you on last week, but I do thank my co-host for tuning in and assisting me. And I think you guys had a rerun of me on last week, but we're back, and today I can't be more excited about my guest here today, who I have with me, Lauren Wiseman. And the title of today's show is Looking at Success When the odds are stacked against you. What do you do? Lauren had many odds stacked against her, but she made it through. And I cannot wait for her to share with you guys what she has gone through, how she has been able to persevere, and beat the odds of many young people today. In spite of what she's gone through, she made it. And I just can't wait. I can't wait. I'm happy that she accepted the invitation. Let me give you a little bit of history about Lauren. Lauren came and entered into my life. You guys know, who have been watching the show, that I worked for an organization years ago called Children's Aid Society. And at that time, I may have been in administration, but I know I'm always a social worker. And Lauren became one of my clients at Children's Aid Society. Her parents approached our organization, was dealing with some issues regarding Lauren and her running away and just really being rebellious. And I'll never forget her parents. Her dad and her mom would be in my office in tears. And one particular time, they were extremely upset because Lauren had run away, and she had been gone for days. I don't want to say weeks, but for sure she was gone for days. She was boy crazy at that moment, sneaking out the window, the things that some teenagers do. You name it, Lauren was doing it. However, we never gave up on Lauren. Lauren found something in me, and she used to confide in me, and she would take my phone calls. And so we were able to find out where Lauren was at the time, set up arrangements for Dad to go get her, and I think her road to recovery began to happen at that point. We would have counseling sessions every week. Our relationship and rapport became stronger more than ever, and I think Lauren at that point was beginning to find out who she really was. But only to experience some rough roads as a high schooler. Lauren experienced a lot, even beyond the social work counseling that she was receiving. She went through some things, and that's what we're going to talk about on today. So I want to introduce Lauren. She's a 21-year-old young lady, raised on the east side of Detroit, a graduate of Specs Howard. She graduated in 2016 with her degree in broadcast media arts. Besides the brain and beauty, I don't know if you guys see her yet, but besides the brain and beauty, she's a model, she's a mentor, and a go-getter. She describes herself as a go-getter who has a passion for children and youth, and I do believe that. She has a dream to start a nonprofit organization for youth and young adults to help them deal with the issues of peer pressure, with the emphasis on bullying and sexual assault, things that she experienced. And it just touches my heart. You know, I'm just really ecstatic about what you have evolved and what you have become. And I'm just so glad that I have had that opportunity to be a part of your life. But even bigger than that, she is running for Miss USA this year in September. So give it up. Join me in welcoming Miss Lauren Wiseman. Welcome to the show, Lauren.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yes, I appreciate you being here. So I gave a little brief synopsis about you and how you came into my life. Mm-hmm. And now let's get into the good stuff.
Okay.
Well, it wasn't all good, right?
No, it wasn't.
But let's talk about Lauren. Who is Lauren? You know, I mentioned bullying, I mentioned sexual assault, I mentioned that you were a runaway, and to see you walking in the community, nobody would probably put those labels on you.
No.
And don't ever allow labels to define you,
Right.
because you see how you can overcome labels. But these are some of the things you experienced. So can we talk a little bit about the sexual assault? Mm-hmm. At what age were you sexually assaulted?
It happened when I was 9. Um, after I turned 9, it was my life went. I made my life go downhill because I was getting into trouble. I was skipping school. I was running away from home. I ran away from home at least 12 or 13 times
I
because when
remember.
that happened,
Wow.
it it hurts you.
Okay.
That someone actually had the nerve to take advantage of you. And
Absolutely.
I didn't know how to express myself. So me expressing myself was skipping school, running away from home, disrespecting my parents, disrespecting my family, just not giving a care what happens.
Yeah, so it sounds like you were lashing out, and correct me if I'm wrong, lashing out on your parents because, again, like you said, you didn't know how to express yourself.
Right.
But was your bond or your relationship strong enough with your parents that you could have shared with that with them? Or it was just something at 9, I mean, at 9 years old, like you're really
Yeah.
young, so.
My relationship with my parents, it wasn't strong at first. So I didn't feel comfortable telling them or talking to them about anything. I
Okay.
would go to other people. And I think that's where me and my mom had conflict at because she was like, you should feel comfortable talking to
Right,
your mom. You
right.
should feel comfortable talking to me, but I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel the stability, for me to express the things that were going on in my life. So with me not expressing myself, I lashed out.
Okay,
And that's
okay.
where me and my parents bumped head.
Let me ask you something. Do you think well, when you were lashing out as you got a little older with the running away and some of the other disrespectful things that you described that you did, were you angry at your parents? Do you feel, I mean, do you think you were angry at your parents and that's why it continued? I understand you didn't have a relationship. A lot of young people don't have relationships with their parents, especially the teenage years.
Right.
You're finding yourself, you think you know it all, and you go through all of those things. But I'm trying, and I want the viewers to hear, was it your parents, beyond the relationship that wasn't really great for whatever reason, you felt that you couldn't go to them? Was it anything else?
No, I just felt like my parents were like super mean, like
Oh.
the meanest people on earth.
Oh,
So, because
really?
they wouldn't let me do things, that's parents being protective of
Absolutely.
their kids. So I felt like they were just trying to ruin my life.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, since y'all trying to ruin my life, I'm about to go ahead and ruin y'all. So that's when the disrespect and the running away from home. And then I'm the middle child. So they call it the middle child syndrome when you feel
Yeah.
like the parents are siding with the older and the younger and
Yes.
the parents don't care about the middle child. So that's what I felt like I was going through, the middle child syndrome, on top of that being sexually
Assaulted.
yeah.
So, we're at the sexual assault. We're at the rebellious behavior. Who, and I don't know if you're comfortable in sharing, who was it? Was it a close relative? Was it a stranger?
Someone on my dad's side.
So someone in your family.
Yeah, and
Wow.
family. It was family.
Wow. And at what point did you ever find anyone that you could disclose this to? And how did you get beyond the sexual assault? We're going to get into some of the other behaviors, but how did you get beyond that point?
How did I overcome it? I finally, my godmom, she's a very spiritual lady, and I love her to death.
Great.
And she sat me down and she told me, she was like, Lauren, I know something tragic happened to you, but I'm not, until you feel comfortable telling me, we're just going to let it be, whatever. So I'm like, this lady know me because God is talking to her, and
Okay.
God is letting her know that something happened to me. So I need to let her know. So I finally told her.
How old were you
How old
at
was
that point?
I had to be like 13,
Wow.
14.
So at 9 years old, 10
Yeah.
years old, 11, 12,
Yeah.
you had all of this bottled up. Was the sexual assault still going on at
No.
that time?
No.
Okay. Okay.
No. So after I told her, she was like, okay, I'm not going to tell your mom, I promise. Like, oh my God. I'm like, okay, good. I feel comfortable talking to you. And then she tells my mom.
Wow. Yeah.
Which I'm glad she did, because now me and my mom we have the best relationship that we have ever had in a long
Great.
time.
Yeah, because I couldn't imagine, it's many moms watching right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell you, as a mother, I have 2 children myself, a daughter and a son. We always want our children to come to us and be comfortable enough to tell and share things
Right.
with us. However, me being the person I am, I realize that it doesn't always happen that way.
Right.
And so my children, too, have godparents and
Mm-hmm.
people in their life that they are really close to, that I'm hopeful when they're dealing with things, that they're able to go in and talk to these people
Mm-hmm.
that I trust.
Right.
And that's very good that your godmom, you trust your godmom
Mm-hmm.
enough for her to share the information. But even bigger than that, the godmother didn't keep the information to
Right.
herself. That's something that a parent will want to know. It wasn't about this betraying your trust,
Right.
but that's something a mom needs to know.
Right.
Nobody wants to imagine their child being sexually assaulted, bullied,
Right.
and anything else, and it being kept from them. So we get to your mom is aware, your dad learns of the situation, you guys get counseling, or what happens from there?
I went to counseling, but counseling for me, I don't like to express myself. So I would sit in the therapy room and not say nothing for a whole hour because I didn't want to be there. I didn't feel comfortable. I wasn't comfortable, you know, talking about it
Right.
until one day I prayed and God was like, this is going to be your testimony. Like, you need to feel comfortable talking about it. So I went to therapy and I told her, and then it was just evolving from there.
So that moment that you were able to release your feelings and the situation to the therapist, what was that moment like?
Oh, it felt relief.
Yes.
It felt like a burden was lifted off of
Yes.
me. Like, if I felt so much free. Like, I felt free to know that I'm able to express, what has happened to
And
me.
share and not
yeah.
own that. That had
Right.
nothing to do with you, but all to do with that person who
Right.
committed that offense on you. And I think oftentimes so many people who have been victims of harassment and sexual assault and rape and all those things, sometimes they do keep it bottled up because one, they're embarrassed,
Yeah.
or they don't know how, as you said, to express themselves, but they walk around bound.
Yeah.
So what happens when you don't release those type of things, you become angry, you become bitter,
Yeah.
and that's why you have to face those demons and face those things that keep you bound
Right.
from living the life that God has allowed us to live each and every day.
Exactly.
Every day we wake up, we're able to do what we didn't do yesterday, right? God has a purpose for us all, and he gives us each an opportunity each day we wake up to do that. But when we're caught up in our past situations where things have really taken over our mind, even when we don't realize that, wow, but when you get the opportunity to sit back and reflect and say, I have to really let this go.
Yeah.
Because it consumes you. It consumes you every day, all day. You're talking about certain things, about that person or about that situation. Even if you don't talk about it at work, at home, in the back of your head,
It's there.
it's still popping
Right.
up. And that's because we hadn't let go. But once you relieve yourself or release yourself,
It feels good.
yes,
It feels
so
really
wonderful.
good.
You got that beautiful smile.
Yes.
And everything is all right. Everything is all right. So I'm so grateful that you were able to get through and pass that moment.
Thank you.
So then you went on to experience bullying.
Yes, I was bullied. In
Unbelievable, Lauren.
elementary.
I can't believe
Yes,
you.
I was more of the quiet, stay to myself
Yeah.
type of girl in school, in elementary, middle school, and I guess girls didn't like that. They would like try to pick at me and try to antagonize me, trying to fight me. I remember one time coming out of school, it was 5 girls that was trying to jump me, and I couldn't understand why
Right.
they wanted to fight me, but looking now, I feel like they felt like, she's a pretty girl, the guys want her, so we're just gonna mess with her head. And I was never a fighter. I always went to the principal.
Oh,
I
okay.
stayed in the principal's
That's
office.
all right.
Like,
Whatever
I
it takes to keep you safe.
Yes, I am not a fighter.
Okay.
Like, I would call my mom in the bathroom. Like, Mom, can you please come get me? Like, these girls are trying to jump me. And my mom came to my rescue every single time.
Wow.
And
Yeah, that's what mothers do.
yeah.
Don't come for our children. We'll get you. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, but great. I'm glad you were able to. You had that relationship with your mom. I hate that you had the experience going through bullying, and you know it still exists today.
Yes, yes. I actually lost a niece to bullying. She
Really.
was 11 years old, and she had committed suicide because she was getting bullied at
My
school.
goodness. Did so no one knew? Did you ever
She
talk to her?
No, I never talked to her. But when they found her, they found two suicide notes, and she was just
My
basically
goodness.
saying how the world was cruel, and she was tired of living in it, and it was just so sad that an 11-year-old is
11.
going through that.
Can you imagine? The, just like you and
Yeah.
9 going through sexual assault. And we know statistics show 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 11 are going through all of these things. And
Exactly.
that's why it's important for shows like the DKD True Talk talk show to get this information out. Before we move on, for those listeners, for that young person that may be dealing with the issue of bullying, what do you tell that young person to
I
do?
would tell them to go to a counselor, go to a principal, and if they don't seem to be doing anything or fixing the problem, go to your parents. Have your parents come up to the school and address the situation, because you just can't sit under it, because it's only so much a kid can take.
Right.
Like, a kid shouldn't have to deal with grown people problems at such a young age. So my suggestion would just go find someone who's going to listen to you. Keep pressing it.
There you
Keep
go.
pressing it.
Until
Keep
they
telling them.
listen.
Keep
That's
telling them
right.
until they listen.
What about the no snitch? You know, these young people these days, you know, you can't be a snitch, or you can't tell, and then because if you do, then you get a label, and then you get bullies at that point trying to deal with you on that level. So to the bully, what message do you have to the bully? Who let me also say this. Bullies are dealing with things as well.
Exactly. That's why they bully
And I'm
people.
not defending that at all. But bullies are dealing with something. You don't just wake up and say, "Hey, I'm gonna be mean spirited. I'm gonna dog this person out. I'm gonna, take from this person." They don't wait. That's not normal,
Right.
right? I can say that it is a learned behavior. You know, sometimes learned behavior meaning mimicking others in school, trying to fit in, trying to find themselves, but all in the wrong places.
Right.
But what would you tell the bully who will be listening to this show? If you're in school now, or I don't care, you can be an adult bully.
Right.
Bully behind the computer. Bully behind, at school, on the job. What do you tell that adult and young person bully, that's a bully? They may or may not know it. What do you tell them?
Bullying is not cool. One thing you don't want is for someone to kill themselves just because you were bullying them. That's going to stay on your conscience all the time. Like, I was messing with this person. She's like, I'm the reason why, they killed themselves. So you have to think about things like that. And if you are going through, issues in your personal life that's making you like bully other people, maybe you need to go see a therapist. It's okay to see someone.
Yes.
It's okay to go talk to someone.
Exactly.
Someone that's going to listen to you. That's
Right.
all that matters. You need to get stuff off your chest. So that's okay to go speak to a therapist.
Girl, you are phenomenal. I absolutely love it because I remember the little busybody Lauren. And again, just to see you at 21, such a
Yes.
remarkable young lady.
Thank you.
And really giving back, because that's what you're doing today.
Yes.
And I'm just so grateful for this platform to be able to have young people. That's my goal. The vision of the show is to inspire, encourage, and educate the listening viewers,
Thank
and to reach people beyond who I would regular,
Right.
see in the community on a normal. But even bigger than that, to provide that platform for people to come onto the show and share their stories like you.
Right.
Young people tend to listen to young people.
Yes.
Right? And young people do have a lot to say. We cannot give up on our future.
No.
We can't get so caught up in the old school ways that we don't listen to the young visionaries who have dreams and who inspire to really take over the things that we do. And that's how the world evolves and works. We're supposed to be working to give you the opportunities to take care of me.
Right.
You know, when I get old, I need some doctors who can spell and take my blood pressure right and
Right.
things like that. But if they are hopeless and not encouraged and not inspired and don't have these type of opportunities, then we remain a hopeless community.
Right.
So that's why it's important for you to get
Very
out and
important.
share your story.
Yes.
So you experienced a sexual assault, you experienced bullying. What else have you went through before you got to the point where you have beat the odds? Because you definitely beat the odds. We're going to get into some good stuff
I definitely
in
beat
the
the
next
odds.
half of this show.
I did try to commit suicide 4 times. I did try to take my life, and
Oh my goodness.
I wasn't successful because I'm still here. And that
Thank God for that.
that just told me that God, I have a purpose on this earth.
Absolutely.
I have a purpose because God didn't take me. And I remember one day sitting in school, I was talking to my counselor, and she was like, "Lauren, you're not gonna graduate on time." And I was like, "What? What you mean I'm not gonna graduate?" Like,
What school did you graduate from?
East English Village Preparatory Academy.
East English Village?
Yes.
Whoa, all right. Although they have some phenomenal people graduating and athletes.
Yes.
Some superstars coming out of there.
Yeah, so after she told me that I wasn't gonna graduate, I went home and I cried so hard. I'm like, I can't get left back. Like, I just can't. I can't. My friends can't walk across the stage and I'm sitting in summer school. Like, I can't. So that's when I buckled down. I started getting A's and B's
Great.
in all my classes. I started. I think me not able to graduate, that's what really
That was
put
the
me
aha
on.
moment.
Yeah, that was like, you need to get your stuff together.
So during when your grades were falling short before you got notification, that was God again.
Yes.
Letting you know, hey, here's the warning sign. What were you just hanging out?
Yeah, I was just skipping school.
So you was still on the rebellious.
Yep, didn't care. I mean, I cared, but then I didn't care enough.
Okay.
And then it was like a lot of people told me like it's something about you. It's a light. I see a light that shines through you, and I'm like, I don't know what y'all talking about because I don't see it. And every person, even you said, he was like, it's something about you.
Yes.
It's something about you, and you have to figure it out. And after graduating, and I looked at myself in the mirror, and I was like, I'm gonna be something in life. Like this is my testimony. My story is my testimony because I feel like I can touch many people out there that's probably going through the same thing that I'm going through.
Right.
I can be someone that's made it through and is a living proof to say yes, I did
you
it.
can say it, living testimony. That's right. Your story. Nobody can tell your story like you.
Exactly.
You mentioned the suicide attempts. Were those during your high school years?
Yes. I tried to kill myself 4 times.
Was it peer pressure, boys? What got you to that point?
Like going to school, didn't have no friends. Like it was like people hated me, and I couldn't understand.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. Like people hated me. People hate. Like I would go to school with friends, and like the next day, like nobody would like me, and I couldn't understand why. And relationships, boys.
Probably because you were cute and pretty. I know your mom has always kept you well.
Yes.
Maintain your nails and your clothing, and sometimes that can be a barrier.
Yeah.
I'm a witness to that. We can create some little monsters. But so I'm sure but it had nothing to do with you being who you were. You were being Lauren, I guess, because I wasn't. Only you know that.
Yeah, it was a point in time where I tried to fit in because I wanted people to like me. So I did what I could, like skipping school and boys and stuff like that. So I did that to try to fit in, but that wasn't me. I was trying to portray something that I wasn't. I wasn't living my truth.
Okay.
So
I like that. You wasn't living.
I wasn't living my truth.
Wow.
So finally, I decided, I looked myself in the mirror and I was like, I'm a nerd. I like school, I like wearing my glasses and my braces, and I like staying at home. I don't like going out. I just had to find me.
You had to, yes,
I had to find me.
Be fine in your own skin.
Yes.
Girl, this is an awesome show. You are being fed right now, and so am I. Like it just makes me. Oh, I want to cry. It just makes me want to just keep on pushing and pressing. When you work, I still work with young people. And I love what I do, meaning the people that I work for, meaning the young people, and young adults, the young adults that I work for. I thrive on the opportunities to share
Right.
with them or encourage them to, you can make it, you can take it one step further, like,
Right.
and to, especially when they're hopeless like you, or they, Miss Jones, you don't know, you've never experienced anything, and I'm able to share bits and pieces of stories of young
Right.
people who I've been able to assist and help. But at the end of it all, what you just said, like, until they tap into their own truth,
Right.
even as adults, you can get all the encouragement every day. People can lift you up every day, but until you believe it for yourself and know it for yourself,
Right.
and be confident in who you are. It's okay to walk around confident.
Yes.
Okay, some people, and I've gotten it. I mean, over the years, people used to think I was stuck up or bougie. I got that in high school, sometimes, but I am who I am. I always remain humble. I am a very confident lady. I'm sure I have some esteem issues at
Right.
some level, because we all do. There's nobody perfect.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I am. I have evolved.
Yes.
And I'm excited about the woman I have become, even the things that I've gone through as well, Lauren, because I think oftentimes young people think, like I just said, some of the people that I work with, the young people, don't think that we, the employees there, the staff, have gone through anything.
Right.
Because we walk around, we have our suits and dress requirements. So they see the suits and they see, the things that we wear and how we talk and stuff
Right.
like that, and think we've not experienced things. But if they only knew,
Exactly.
if they only knew our stories, and our stories are much similar to yours, from skipping to
Right.
some people stealing cars and just doing a lot of things, but they were able to overcome. So I'm so glad that you didn't take your life,
Oh no.
and I'm so glad that you found the true Lauren, which takes us to our second half, the model.
Yes.
When I follow you on Facebook, and oh my God, I just like. I said I'm gonna stop liking everything, but I mean, if it's inspiring, I think it's cute or whatever, I'm gonna like it. But to see your story, because you're telling a story on Facebook.
Yes.
Each time you're on, you are encouraging, you are inspiring to anybody. I'm not even gonna say to the young person, but to the young and old, about, hey, I got a modeling opportunity. Like, you step out on every opportunity that's been afforded you, according to Facebook posts.
Right.
You have taken the opportunities and run with it.
Yes. You have
So
to.
tell me about this modeling thing. Did you know did you ever want to be a model?
Yes, I always wanted to be a model. Like, I always wanted to do runway or commercial or any type of modeling. Like, I just love it. And my first opportunity was with Cisco. I did Lush Fashion show.
Okay.
It was last April, and I was terrified.
Really? Because you
Terrified,
never modeled, right?
never model, and it was runway. It was my first runway show ever.
Wow. How did he find you?
Actually, my god sister Kiers, she was performing, and she was like, "Yeah, Lauren, you should come model. You should come. They need some more models. You should come model, whatever." And I went to one rehearsal before it was showtime, and I was
One rehearsal?
one rehearsal.
No wonder you were nervous.
One rehearsal, and I was telling people, like, the day of the show, I was like, "I don't think I could do this. Like, I don't think I could do this. I'm like really scared." And I did it, and after the show, I got so much feedback. That was like, you were meant to do this.
Wow.
You were meant to be a model. So after that, I just started doing photo shoots. I was in a couple web series.
What web series? Give him the kudos.
The web series, I actually forgot
Forgot
it
the
because it was
names.
last year.
Okay, that's okay.
It was last year, but I hope to, my friend Paige, I work with her at the Word Network. She's into producing movies and stuff, so she have a couple projects coming up that I'm going to be a part of, and I'm
Great.
excited about that. But, yeah, I love modeling.
Great.
I
I
love
have
it.
some people. I'm going to link my one of my very close friends, Rosita Rocks, has a model modeling agency called Run. You familiar with
Runway
Run?
Rocks. Yeah,
Yes.
she trained me.
Yes. Oh, get out of here! Like,
Yeah, she trained me.
and I talk to her just about every day, especially about the show, because she's been one of my biggest fans, cheerleaders, and supporters. And we were actually talking about you. She probably, if I would have. Maybe I should have said, hey, do you know Lauren Wiseman? So she's gonna know because I'm sure she's watching now.
Yeah, she
But,
trained me.
Yeah.
For the Lay Down collection fashion show. She
Really?
trained us.
She's phenomenal.
She is wonderful. She is excellent at what she do.
Yeah, she's gonna be a guest soon too, because she has a story to tell.
Oh, that's good.
As well. You know, she's one that has lived out her dream. And she's all over traveling, New York, Chicago. She stays out of town, teaching models.
Oh, yes.
And I think actually she just got picked up with the agency or
that's
something,
good.
another agency or something like that. So, yeah. So
I'm excited.
It's a small world. Yeah.
It's a very small world.
So, what do you like about being a runway model? Is it the lights?
It's the lights, the cameras, the people looking.
Look at the superstar, you guys.
I just love it all.
You love
Like
it.
growing up, I was always in front of the camera. Like I just absolutely loved it. That's why I went to Specs Howard to get my degree in broadcast and media arts because I want to have my own talk show. I just love that comes with it: makeup, clothes, traveling, everything. I just love it.
Right. So, what's the future looking like when we talk modeling? What's on the table? Next steps?
Hopefully, I will like to be signed with an agency, a modeling agency, so I'm able to travel to Paris and just do all the big things. I want to be a famous international model.
All right, she's put it in the atmosphere.
It's in the atmosphere. I want to be a famous international model.
And you know you can be that.
Yes.
You can be anything you want to be. You can do
Absolutely.
anything you want to do. You've put it out there. If this is your dream, now make it happen.
Oh, what's going to happen?
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it's going to happen. It's coming. It's coming.
For you. That's great. So that takes me to some exciting news
Yes.
that I also learned on Facebook about Miss Lauren.
Yes.
Which will evolve a little modeling maybe, or at least part of your talent.
Yes.
So tell us. I'm not going to tell your story and your good news.
So in September, I will be running for Miss Michigan USA.
Yay.
I'm excited. How I found out, I had an allergic reaction. It was 2 weeks ago. I had an allergic reaction. I took some Benadryl, and I had woke up to an email and it said Miss Michigan. And when I opened it, it said congratulations. I cried the entire night because when I submitted my application, they told me it wasn't no guarantee that I was going to get the spot, and it was going to take a couple weeks for them to notify me. And when I seen that email, I just jumped for joy.
Wow.
That they, out of a million submissions, because I know they get a lot of submissions,
Yes.
they chose me to be a
It's your
state
time.
contestant.
It's your time to shine, sweetie.
I'm excited. I've been looking at gowns. I've been looking at active wear. I've been training. So this is going to be a great opportunity.
Let me tell you.
A great opportunity.
Live in the moment.
I am.
Live in the moment. This is your time, and doors of opportunity. Since you've been here, you've been invited to about 3 shows.
Yes.
To come back. So you guys, this isn't it. You're going to see Lauren on the big screen, just like Dkd Real Talk.
Yes.
Lady D. we are dreamers.
Yes.
And we are putting in the works, putting in labor to make our dreams happen.
That's right.
And we're looking at the future Miss USA,
Yes.
representing the state of Michigan.
Yes.
And I'm so happy. So what did your parents say? So you got the news, you got the letter, you called mom. What was that moment like?
My mom, she was like shocked.
Okay.
Like, okay. But my dad found out on Facebook, so he wasn't happy about that. But when he found out, he called my mom like, is it a scam? Is it for real? Oh my God. So he called everybody up on my dad's side and told them that I was running.
So you guys probably had a big party.
Oh no, not yet. Not yet.
Yet.
My dad actually, he last week he had wrote a message on my post, and I started crying. He said that he was very proud of me. He'd been praying for this moment for 21 years, and that made me cry.
Are you about to cry now?
No, I'm not gonna cry because looking back, I didn't see myself in this position. I didn't see myself graduating high school, graduating college, going back to college to get my degree in journalism and broadcasting, and my
Right.
minor in business. And I mentor kids and giving back to my community. I never see myself doing this. So everything, I'm blessed.
Yeah.
I'm very blessed. And I told myself, like, once I get famous, I'm always gonna remain humble. I'm always gonna remain where I come from, because if it wasn't for my past, who knows where I would be today.
That's right.
And I'm thankful. I'm very thankful.
That's the key word, thankful.
I'm thankful.
It's not enough of us thankful. And if you haven't been thankful today for the moment that you're living right now, listening to Lauren, you should be thankful.
Yes.
That's great, Lauren. Oh, I'm so excited and I'm so happy
Thank you.
for you. And yeah, your dad is always, you've been a daddy, you a mommy and a daddy's girl.
Yes,
but you
I
are
am.
definitely a daddy's girl since
Yeah.
I've known you at the early age of 13 or 14.
Mm-hmm.
You've always been, had a heart space, I'll say, for your parents. Period.
Yes.
They've been your cheerleader. They've always been behind you, Lauren.
Yeah.
So when I think about all the things that you have experienced, and especially when you mentioned suicide, I'm just so grateful that you didn't take your life. I really am. Because listen, you wouldn't have known that you was about to be Miss USA.
No, I wouldn't have known.
Right? So for those individuals that are listening today, now, or later on, if you're feeling hopeless and feeling like giving up, I need you to listen to the story and the words that have come out of Lauren's mouth today. Look at this show over and over again and know and find your truth, but know that life is worth living. And should you give up on life today, you will never know your purpose. You will never be able to fulfill your dream. It's okay to dream. I think, and I've said this on previous shows, and even in my regular conversations, people don't dream anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I don't understand why. And it could be a lot of things. Being hopeless or feeling
Right.
hopeless will make you like, well, dream for what? We've all had probably those moments and times, but you got to shake that off and know
Right.
that, where there's a dream becomes a vision, and then you put in the works, and you'll be, I'm a living witness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a living witness. And don't stop telling your story.
Right.
People believe in you.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody believed in me and got me to this table today.
Right.
And in this moment. This didn't happen. I mean, it happened. God made a way and an opportunity.
Right.
But he put a person in my life to make it come to pass.
Right.
And honey, I couldn't be more ecstatic and excited about me living my dream and my truth today, every Wednesday at 12 o'clock. I'm
It's
living my
amazing.
dream and my truth. So, mentoring. So
Yes.
now, let me back up. For those of you who may just be joining us, I have Miss Lauren Wiseman, one of my mentees from years ago. She came into my life, or I came into her life when she was about 13 years old. She was being rebellious, running away. Her family reached out to the organization that I was working for, and we worked through some of the challenges that Lauren had. Lauren has overcome a number of things, a multitude of things, from sexual assault. I need you to look at her face. From sexual assault to bullying to peer pressure, to being disrespectful and rebellious. But yet, she was able to pull through enough, beat the odds, and find her purpose. I like the way she puts it. I found my truth or my truth.
My truth.
Truth.
Yep.
She found her truth, and she's a living testimony on today of what you can do when you press against the odds. So let's talk about mentoring. You are mentoring now.
Yes.
And what age group?
Right now I'm at Fisher Lower Magnet Academy off State Fair.
Oh, you're in the school.
Yes, I'm in the school.
Look at here. I'm thinking she just got a few kids off the block or something.
no, I'm in the school.
Decided to mentor them. Good. Let's talk
I'm in
about
the
that.
school.
How did you get that opportunity?
I actually Googled it. After I lost my niece to bullying, I had Googled mentoring opportunities in the city of Detroit, and I reached out to this foundation called the VIP Mentoring,
I'm familiar. Okay, I'm familiar.
and they were like very welcoming. I did my training, and yesterday I actually met with the kids for the first time, and it touches my heart. it touches my heart that, you know, kids, they have so much energy and so much, you know, just joy, but you never know what a kid that young is going through. I was talking to one of my kids yesterday, and she was just telling me all the things that was going on, and she's only 12.
So what was some of the things? Same age as your niece? Your niece was 12. What were some of the things that young, is it a young lady?
It's a young
That she
lady.
described?
She was just telling me how she couldn't do basketball because her mom has to work, and her siblings was taken from the home into foster care, and how she don't have a lot of friends. She told me she told me she was in a gang. I couldn't believe it.
Really?
I
She just
couldn't
doesn't
believe
fit
it.
the
She
image.
doesn't fit. She doesn't fit it. She told me she beat up people, and I was just like amazed. Like, I was in awe. I couldn't believe it. And hopefully, once I start working with her more, we'll, you know, overpass, you know, what she's going through. But these kids nowadays are going through a lot.
Right. And let me help you understand probably a couple of reasons why, and I don't know exactly. She is maybe involved in gang activity. Because you said some key things. Her family, I don't want to say is dysfunctional, but she's lost her siblings. They're in foster care. Her mom has to work because she has to provide, so there's no attention there.
Right.
One of her potential dreams is being a basketball superstar. But she can't do that
Right.
because her mom has to work. So the next best thing that in their minds is reaching out to their peers. And unfortunately, many of them go the negative route.
Right.
And so I encourage you to really find out why she has done some of the things. She may be able to articulate it, she may not. And then help to pull out the positive attributes about her.
Yeah.
And then let her kind of, you know, even if you have her put it on the wall each day to say positive things about her, so she may begin to find her truth.
Right.
Yeah. So that's great. So the age is middle school age
No,
or elementary?
it's elementary.
Okay.
I'm
elementary.
starting off at an elementary level, then I'll work my way up to the big dogs. I have to start.
That's right.
I have to start somewhere.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Well, so again, we talked about all the great things
Yes.
about Miss Lauren. Remember this name, Lauren Wiseman. Looking at success. When the odds were stacked against her, Lauren made it through. You have heard live in full effect how Lauren went through, has gone through, and please know there are more obstacles to come. But if you could just tap back and remember how you made it through your past
Yes.
and where you are now, you can make it through whatever you faced with in this upcoming future.
Absolutely.
I'm here for you.
Thank you.
I thank you for joining me on today's DKD True Talk
Thank you for having
show.
me.
I'm going to have you back because I know you're about to blow up the airwaves. Don't forget me when you start your talk
Oh,
show
I'm not.
and move on in the world. Is there anything that you would like to share as we begin to wrap up with the viewers?
Just, you know, whatever you're going through,
Get that camera there.
right here. Okay. So whatever you're going through, God will make a way for you. Don't give up. Continue to push hard and push, you know, push strong. If you have obstacles that's blocking you, find someone that you can talk to, someone that you feel comfortable expressing yourself with, and go hard.
Go
hard.
And we can end it with that. She said, go hard. If you're interested in having Lauren Wiseman join your show, you can call here down at the station at 313-868-0342. You can also reach me at that number, and I'll get the message. If you would want to be a guest on the DKD True Talk show in upcoming weeks, let them know as well, and they know how to reach me. And again, I thank you all for listening to the DKD True Talk show. I look forward. I have an exciting show coming on next week from a man who has truly, you got to hear his testimony, his story, gone through some things, and I'm talking about a phenomenal brother, a phenomenal man. tune in next week. Thank you guys. This is DKD True Talk Talk Show. Lady D tuning off. Until next week, next Wednesday, have a wonderful rest of the week. Thank you.